In the early 1970s, the National Museum's Natural History collection was moved to the University of Singapore. The museum decided to use the space for an art gallery. At the time, there were no art galleries in Singapore. Constance Sheares, who was the museum's curator of anthropology, became the curator of art and supervised the design of the gallery and the acquisition of art. Constance, whose father Benjamin Sheares was the second president of Singapore, was well equipped for this role. She graduated in 1966 from the Courtauld Institute of Art in London with a degree in European art history. In 1970, Constance obtained her master's degree in Asian art history at the University of Singapore. The National Museum Art Gallery opened in 1976 with the exhibition Art 76. Curated by Constance, Art 76 showcased works by Singapore artists such as Ng Eng Teng, Goh Beng Kwan, Thomas Yeo, Teo Eng Seng, and Anthony Poon. The museum then had an annual budget of just $3,000 for acquiring art, so they depended on donations by collectors. Many artists readily donated their works. In 1988, Constance left the National Museum to pursue an independent career as an art critic, writer, curator, and consultant to buyers of art. She helped organizations such as Deutsche Bank, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the National Library acquire art for their offices and for exhibitions. A notable project was the Land Transport Authority's Arts in Transit program, which started in 1997 with the MRT's Northeast Line. Constance was the first curator invited to help select the art. She is delighted that the LTA is now working with young artists and that there are more dynamic works. Vivien Goh's father, the pioneering violinist and impresario Goh Soon Teo, gave her a violin when she was 6. 2 years later, Vivien was performing with her father's orchestra. When she was just 15, she was awarded the Royal Schools of Music Licentiate in Violin Performance, one of the first Singaporeans to achieve this. Vivien excelled academically and topped the 1964 O-level examinations in Singapore. She then won a scholarship to Eastman School of Music, where she again excelled. Graduating in 1969, Vivien chose to return to Singapore instead of furthering her studies in the US because she explained then, "I would like to build my career in Singapore and work with my own people because I belong there." Back in Singapore, Vivien taught violin privately and at schools. In 1975, she took over leadership of the Goh Soon Teo String Orchestra when her father became ill. In 1980, Vivien was appointed founding resident conductor and music director of the Singapore Youth Orchestra. She set out to build a pipeline of talent for the Singapore Symphony Orchestra. She started a program offering free music tuition for young musicians. Applications poured in from students across the island. Soon, the orchestra was touring internationally. Vivien left the SYO in 1990, having built it into one of the top youth orchestras in Asia. In 1983, Vivien was awarded the Cultural Medallion for her contributions to music in Singapore. After the SYO, Vivien started Fiddling for Fun, a program for young violinists, and she co-authored a book about the SYO. She also undertook several projects in honor of her father, including a book titled Goh Soon Teo, One Great Symphony, and a concert in 2011 by alumni of his orchestra to mark what would have been his 100th birthday. Growing up in Malaysia, Kamaladevi Aravindan studied English, Malay and Tamil at school and learned to read and write in Malayalam from her father. She had a flair for languages and wrote poems in Malay and essays in Tamil for her school magazine. A teacher sent some of her essays to a Tamil newspaper in Malaysia. The essays were published and Kamaladevi's writing career was launched. Kamaladevi has since published more than 160 short stories and essays, 18 stage plays, some 300 radio dramas, and 5 books. She writes both in Tamil and Malayalam, and some of her works have been translated into English and published in India, Canada, and Malaysia. Kamaladevi entered many writing competitions when she was a schoolgirl. When she was 15, Kamaladevi won the top prize in a Tamil literary competition. The guest of honor at the event, G. Sarangapani, who founded the Tamil Murasu newspaper and championed the Tamil language in Singapore, was so impressed that he declared her the pride of the Tamils. Kamaladevi moved to Singapore after her marriage, and she and her husband initially lived in Sembawang. She enjoyed her time in Sembawang, and in 2015, Kamaladevi decided to translate her fond memories and stories of others who lived in the area in the 1960s into a book titled Sembawang. Kamaladevi wrote in Tamil, and her daughter translated it into English. Sembawang was shortlisted for the 2021 NUS Singapore History Prize and the Best Literary Book in the 2021 Singapore Book Awards. Over the years, Kamaladevi has helped to nurture the next generation of Tamil writers by conducting creative writing workshops by organizations such as the National Library Board and the Association of Singapore Tamil Writers. She is regularly called upon to judge Tamil literary competitions for school children. Ivy Ng has been a clinician, educator, researcher, hospital administrator, and group chief executive officer of a major public health care group. In these roles, some of which were concurrent, her aim always was to improve the lives of patients by providing the best care possible. Ivy's interest in medicine began in childhood. Her father was a laboratory technician who worked closely with doctors, and he often told Ivy about how they helped people. When Ivy was 10, her father was hospitalized for a long time. Ivy was so moved by the care of the medical team that she decided that she would dedicate her life to helping others as a doctor. Ivy completed her medical training in 1987 with a Master of Medicine in Pediatrics and joined the Singapore General Hospital. In 1992, she started the National Thalassemia Registry, which has helped to reduce the number of thalassemia major births. In 1993, she won the SGH Young Investigator Award. In 1997, Ivy joined KK Women's and Children's Hospital as a specialist treating children with genetic disorders. In 2002, she became the head of pediatric medicine. In 2003, she was made chair of KKH's medical board. In 2004, she became the CEO of KKH, a position she held until 2012. Ivy expanded the hospital services to include, among other things, mental wellness, breast and aesthetic services. In 2008, Ivy became Deputy Group CEO of SingHealth, and in 2012, the Group CEO. On her watch, SingHealth was transformed into a leading global academic medical center, and the 20-year SGH Campus Master Plan to create an integrated, vibrant healthcare ecosystem was launched. In 2021, Ivy was awarded the President's Science and Technology Medal. In 2024, Ivy returned to clinical work as a senior consultant at KKH, while also serving as senior advisor to the SingHealth Board. June Rusdon knew nothing about early childhood education when she decided in 1989 to enter the childcare industry. She made the leap after 10 years in stockbroking because she was about to start a family and she wanted her children to have quality care in their early years. 35 years later, when June retired in August 2024, her childcare business had grown from one modest centre at a Bukit Batok void deck into a regional network of 142 centres with an enrolment of more than 15,000 children and 2 teacher training colleges. June's early life was difficult. Her father, an office assistant who later ran a food stall, struggled to provide for the family. Her mother helped by selling curry puffs and providing postnatal massage services. As a child, June helped her parents with their small businesses, learning invaluable lessons about enterprise and resilience. June lost both her parents when she was in her teens, and her elder sister became the caregiver for the family. In early 1990, June's Small Wonder Childcare Centre opened its doors. Within 18 months, she had 2 more centres, and her business kept growing. In 2007, June sold her Learning Vision Group, which had more than 20 centres, to US-based Knowledge Universe. She stayed on as CEO of Knowledge Universe Southeast Asia. In 2014, the UK-based Busy Bees Group bought over Knowledge Universe's Asia business, and June became the CEO of Busy Bees Asian operations. In 2018, June launched Knowledge Access, Busy Bees' corporate social responsibility program. The scheme helps vulnerable children, especially those from underprivileged backgrounds or with special needs, get access to high-quality nurseries. In her personal capacity, June advises the Singapore Muslim Women's Association on strategic management, human resources, fundraising, and the operations of the preschools it runs. As a schoolgirl in China, Liu Bin was passionate about mathematics and chemistry, but she was also interested in painting and cooking. It was her father who encouraged her to pursue a career in science. Today, Liu Bin is an internationally recognized scientist, engineer, innovator, and academic leader who has conducted groundbreaking research and made significant contributions to Singapore's science and technology landscape. Liu Bin got her bachelor's and master's degrees from Nanjing University, then a PhD in chemistry from the National University of Singapore. After postdoctoral training at the University of California, she returned to Singapore in 2005 and became an assistant professor in the Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Department at NUS. By 2016, she was a full professor. Since 2023, as Deputy President, Research and Technology, Liu Bin has been at the forefront of NUS's research strategy and technological development. She is world-renowned in the field of organic functional materials, particularly for her work on polymer chemistry and applications of organic nanomaterials in medicine, environmental monitoring, and energy systems. Her research findings have been used to develop highly sensitive light-up molecular probes and nanoparticle probes that allow for longer-term cell tracing and tumor imaging crucial for cancer research and cell-based therapies. In 2014, recognizing the commercial potential of her research, Liu Bin co-founded Luminicell, an NUS startup company, to commercialize her probe technology. The company specializes in advanced biocompatible fluorescent probes for long-term live cell, deep tissue bioimaging and diagnostic applications with exceptional sensitivity. A prolific researcher, Liu Bin has over 550 publications and 33 patents, 16 of which are licensed to companies in the US, UK, and Asia. She has received numerous awards and accolades. In 2016, she won the Singapore President's Technology Award. In 2024, she received the Singapore President's Science Award.